Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was born in Eridan, Iran on October 28, 1956. He became president of Iran in 2005 and was re-elected in 2009, although his second election sparked widespread protests and suspicion of corruption throughout Iran. Ahmadinejad's controversial positions on human rights, nuclear development, and Israel alienated him from both the Western and Islamic worlds. Today, we take a closer look at Mahmoud and his presidency. Even from when he was a young boy, Mahmoud excelled in school and was able to command respect from his fellow students. Following the 1979 revolution, Mahmoud became politically active, and after finishing his education and receiving his doctorate, by 2003 he became mayor of Tehran.
Mahmoud's charismatic qualities and political skills led him to run for president of Iran in 2005 with full support of conservative leaders. This election of a non-ulema Islamic supported by the IRGC and Basij indicated the partial replacement of the clergy by war generation, men who risked their lives in the revolution and the war and feel that it is time they reap the benefits of their sacrifices.
Mahmoud won an upset victory amidst allegations that IRGC and Basij commanders had illegally urged troops to vote for him, and perhaps even engaged in stuffing ballot boxes to increase his vote share. In any event, Ahmadinejad's message appealed to the poor, whose concerns had not been addressed by the previous president, making him a symbol of hope for those in poverty. He won the election by a landslide, collecting 17 million of the 27 million votes cast.
Ahmadinejad played the role of a simple man who was one of the people, making him very popular with the working class. He replaced all the expensive furniture of the presidential palace with less expensive furnishings and replaced a luxurious presidential plane with a cargo one. However, his strong desire to create a nuclear program and anti-Israeli attitude began a slight decline in his popularity. He also implemented strict and conservative policies, such as encouraging the Basij to control the streets, looking for improper dress among men and women.
Ahmadinejad was less successful in fulfilling many of his economic campaign promises. Despite possessing the world's fourth largest oil reserves, Ahmadinejad was unable to stop the squandering of Iran's oil profits. Ahmadinejad was also unable to address the crushing increase in inflation, which was estimated to be between 20 and 30%.
With all of these pressing issues, Mahmoud's re-election was thought to be highly unlikely. However, in a turn of events, Mahmoud won the election of 2009. Very soon after the announced results, the European Union, Britain, and several Western countries expressed concern over alleged irregularities during the voting.
Mahmoud's opposing candidate, Mir Hussein Mousavi, filed an official appeal to the Guardian Council regarding the authenticity of the results. He also urged his supporters to fight the decision in a peaceful manner. Protests soon broke out in the streets of Tehran on June 13th in favor of Mousavi, and Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei announced there would be an investigation.
On June 16th, the Guardian Council announced a partial vote recount. That didn't seem to pacify the protesters, who were fired up about not only the allegations of the election fraud, but 4 years of growing frustration with the Ahmadinejad administration.
Although Mahmoud tried to censor the media, video leakage showed the extremity of the situation. Something else to note is the great contrast between Iran's two last presidents, Mohammad Khatami and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. They both highlight the changing face of Iran's political elite, from an older generation assembled by the struggle and opposition to the Shah and the revolution, to a youthful one formed greatly by the events of the post-revolutionary era. While Khatami was born into a family of notable clerics and eventually became one, while Ahmadinejad was a non-ulema leader, one thing both of the men have in common was that both men were overwhelmingly elected president against the establishment's favored candidates.